With that, we will start with Secretary Beaton and his team, to be followed by the representatives in attendance and senators, and then we will move on to everyone who has signed up. Secretary Beaton, the floor is yours.
The Polito administration is committed to the following priorities: stabilizing ratepayer energy costs by ensuring adequate supply and through continued diversification of the Commonwealth's energy portfolio; reducing Massachusetts' greenhouse gas emissions in accordance with the Global Warming Solutions Act in a manner that leads to innovation of our growing clean energy technology sector and important grid modernization and resiliency opportunities; bringing greater transparency to electric service rates and more accountability to how the funds collected from electric and gas ratepayers are allocated for clean energy and energy efficiency programs; ensuring energy justice by making sure our energy efficiency and renewable installation opportunities are accessible to low-income and multi-family households; and finally, continuing the Commonwealth's leadership in energy efficiency and clean energy, including reaching 1,600 megawatts of solar installations.
A 2014 Princeton Research Associates poll showed 67% of Massachusetts voters believe solar is important to the Massachusetts economy. Even after hearing arguments on both sides, those voters still believe the state should increase the net metering cap. 57% of those polled are seeing the direct benefits of solar in Massachusetts, including tax revenue, energy savings, land use in their own cities and towns. So it's clear your constituents see solar is working and they want more of it. Third and last, community shared solar is critical in terms of expanding access to solar energy and ensuring equity in the state's solar program. Community shared solar refers to a model where you've got one larger solar array with multiple customers participating and receiving credit on their electric bill for their portion of the energy produced. The majority of customers lack a suitable roof for solar: renters, condo owners, homeowners with nice trees in their yard. The fact is, community shared solar is the only solar option for the majority of Massachusetts customers. So you heard Secretary Beaton mention today the importance of energy justice. That's exactly what community shared solar accomplishes. And right now in Massachusetts, community shared solar is dependent upon the mechanism of net metering. Without net metering, we have no way to get those bill credits to customers. So to be clear, without net metering, the majority of Massachusetts energy customers cannot access solar energy.
We support the growth of the clean energy in Massachusetts, and we urge the legislature to lift caps on solar and advance solar policy that allows all communities access to the growing green economy. Distributed energy generation like solar provides a critical hedge against the volatile costs of fossil fuels while creating jobs and improving public health. Thanks to Massachusetts' leadership on solar, renters, working-class families can use shared solar and virtual net metering to reduce their utility bills. Unfortunately, the net metering cap blocks the very kinds of projects that allow these communities to thrive on clean energy. Low-income people and people of color disproportionately bear the burden of fossil fuels and suffer the brunt of economic inequality. Green Justice Coalition believes that we can leverage energy efficiency and clean energy to bring opportunity home to those who shouldered the greatest burden.
If the legislature were to take no action on the net metering caps, do we run the risk of sending a signal to the market that we're going to change the rules in the middle of the game? Do we run the risk of looking less attractive to investors in these projects?
I agree. There are still opportunities, as you are well aware, Mr. Chairman. We have hit the cap in one utility's territories. There is still availability on residential, municipal, and in the other utility areas. And so there is still the possibility to get there. As far as the signals that we're sending, I think we do send some mixed signals. That is why we feel that a long-term solution is critically important to sending those signals. Because aside from whatever incentive programs we do have in place, we can debate what level of incentives Giving that market certainty is one of the most critical elements of all of this. And in order for us to do that, we need to find that long-term solution as we have this debate over this more immediate net metering cap.
And required to continue the growth of the solar market. Chairman Downing, you asked whether not raising the caps would disrupt the market, and the answer to that question is yes. It would disrupt the market during the prime building season and during our ability for the next 18 months to take advantage of the federal ITC. If we don't lift the caps, we may see continued development, but that development will be different. Katie already referenced the fact that the task force report indicated that to see continued development, we'd have to quadruple the amount of rooftop solar. We would not see any community shared solar continue. We would not see solar for low-income housing. So not raising the caps now has a serious negative impact on solar development in the Commonwealth.
Contractor, the response I get the same. It all depends on the net metering cap. If it's going to be lifted, the projects will go. If it's not, the projects won't. So it's, gentlemen and ladies, it's up to you whether to allow these projects to go or not.
If we continue to see development halted because of the net metering caps, we will see more and more people lose their jobs. I understand that many want to see a long-term solar policy path, and we agree that there needs to be one. But at this time, action needs to be taken immediately to lift these caps.
The most immediate concern, however, is net metering caps. And I must say I'm somewhat disappointed in the administration's position on this issue, which have stalled on the solar development in 171 communities across Massachusetts. Municipal, low-income, and community-shared solar projects in affected communities won't move forward without legislative action very soon. What's more, current net metering caps won't allow us to reach the 1,600 megawatt goal in a timely and cost-effective manner, and limit our ability to capture solar federal incentives available only through 2016. We'll essentially be leaving money on the table if we don't move quickly.
But what is the point at which you have to make investment decisions on projects? Is it 1 month? Is it 2 months?
Senator Downing, it's no longer than several months, and we are at the breaking point. We are making decisions as a company. We are looking at other states such as New York, where they have launched new programs, and we believe they're going to be longer term. We are at the breaking point.